Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Micah Let's Play, and guess who I am? I'm Micah, because who else would I be? Guys, today I'm so excited. We're going to be doing a reaction discussion video of the new Hogwarts Legacy footage that was released from everyone who got the chance to go to WB and play the game firsthand, and sadly, I am not one of these people. Oh my God, what a glorious opportunity that must have been for everyone, and to everyone who got an opportunity and chance to go. I was trying to say two words at once. Congratulations, well deserved. We're talking about Expecto Go, Ben Snow, Wizard PhD, whose footage we're going to be watching, Retro Record Tour, Mirandalorian. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. There was a French YouTuber, her name is Lacfie. Hopefully I'm saying her name correctly. If not, French is not my native tongue. And I saw so much more. The Potter Collector, the Wizard Collector, the Collecting Wizard, I think that's his name. He's like the guy with the beard. Randy Reload. Like, oh my God, so many people got the opportunity to go. And I wish I was one of these people, because Warner Brothers, I live in LA. Do you understand? Like, Warner Brothers Studios is like 20 minutes from my front door. Like, oh my glob. But I'm not mad that I didn't go. I'm just sad that I didn't get the opportunity to go. And it's so funny, because at first I thought it was because my channel's too small. Maybe they just don't know who I am. But then I saw a channel that only has like 100 subs, and the guy was able to go, but he is from another country. I don't know. I don't understand the language. It could have been Arabic. I could be wrong. But he got the chance to do it, and I'll have a link to everyone who I talked about, including the person who only has 100 subs, to do it as well. So maybe they just didn't want me there. I don't know, but Warner Brothers, I would have happily gone. And you wouldn't even have to hashtag sponsor me. You know, I just would have showed up, honey. But enough of me complaining about it, and let's talk about this amazing, incredible footage. And again, to Wizard PhD, thank you so much for sharing this, and to everyone, thank you for sharing your stuff. I'm just really excited. I'm only gonna focus on the castle in this video, and I'm gonna talk about the things I'm not really concerned, things I was sadly disappointed with, things I was really excited to learn, all that stuff. So let's get started, shall we? And I'm gonna play the audio so we can kind of hear stuff, and you hear the music from Harry Potter. It's just so good. So let's get started. So in this video, I don't know if you guys can hear this. Well, I can't, because I don't have my headphones on, because I'm a smart boy. You get to see the rain. You see Wizard PhD, or Constance Pickering.
Wonder if they can hear us down here.
And it's so cool, like you can hear students. So let's talk about this. One, the graphics look amazing. The only thing I was a little concerned with when in this section right here, and I'm gonna bring down the volume a little bit, is that Prophet Lynette was saying that she was struggling, and not just her, everyone was saying that flying the broom was a little tricky, and I'm like, oh my God, but it's fine, because eventually you'll get the hang of it. I think they said the controls were inverted, so I'm like, oh, yes, we'll see how that works. And I just really like this. Another thing I was slightly disappointed with is that Prophet Lynette was flying around, and not everywhere she went she could land. But I did notice with Lacfie's channel, she went over by the Black Lake where the kids get on the boat and they go up the stairs. She was able to land in that area without any problem. So I just don't know why you weren't able to land. And also, you know who else they should have invited? And Wife Wants a Wizard, they should have invited him so he could go to the owlry and see all the owls, but oh well. But anywho's, let's move on from this, because it was funny, because she was like, oh, I was trying to land here, and she really couldn't, which was absolutely sad, but really funny. Okay. Like I said, graphic wise, this looks incredible. I have no complaints about the graphics. I saw some little glitchy stuff here and there, but again, it's a video game. No game is gonna ever be perfect. Callisto Protocol has tons of glitches, and look how well that game is designed, you know, well, looks, you know. There are plenty of issues with a lot of games. And another thing I want to point out is like the little stars that come out of the back of the broom. I thought that was really cool that they did that. And wherever you go, you always see a notification that's telling you what part of the castle you're in, the south regions, all that stuff. And I was just blown away at this footage. Like, look at that, like so good of graphics. And I like this part here where she faces her mortal enemy, Leander Pruitt, which is the guy that was teasing the guy that Zenobia had an issue with.
Challenging you to a game of Summoner's Court.
Yeah.
This time you face a real opponent.
And again, the looks on the realistic appearance of these faces is incredible. And it's so cool to see Molly Weasley's family. Because if you know the Wizarding World lore, you know that sadly the Pruitts are one of the families that are completely wiped out. And the only living Pruitt left is Molly Weasley. So it's just nice to see her family alive and well during these time before, you know, the Wizarding Wars, as they say, or the second Wizarding War. And one thing I do want to point out here, and this is where I'm going to mute it because, is the game of that you'll be playing right here, which is basically it's like Shuffleboard, I believe that's what Lynette said, where you use your Accio spell to pull things to you. I really like this, so I'm very curious. You know, is it like, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever played like a certain kind of games, like depending on how much you pressure, because now I have a PS5, so when you're pressing like the R2 button to press it, is it like pressure sensitive to how strong your Accio, you know, pull is? So I'm really excited about that. I really like that. I thought that was really, really cool. And it's so sad that she lost to her mortal enemy, but it is what it is. And I like this game. And so remember, when you are in your charms class with Professor Ronan, this is one of the things you'll be doing. So again, I'm just really excited about this, and I want to see what other kind of like fun little mini games like this we're gonna run into throughout the world. So again, super excited. I have no complaints about this at all whatsoever. And so now we're gonna move on from this right here. This is what I was talking about earlier. Lynette was trying to land, and as you can see right here on screen, it said landing is it's unavailable. So basically you can't land right there. So my thing is that, you know, if this is one of the areas you can't land in, which it would have been cool to walk around in the stands of the Quidditch pitch. I'm trying to say two words at once again because I'm so excited. I really like this, and the fact that she's over by Slytherin. Yes, that's my house. Represent, you know, and I just, oh my god, this is just so cool, and it just looks so beautiful. Again, Warner Brothers guys, team at Avalanche, spectacular job. And just think, one day, you know, Hermione Granger is gonna be using the little fire spell to save Harry Potter from technically Quill, but she thought it was Snape, you know. And just the little things like that just makes me super happy. Okay, so let's move on. Right here where she lands and you see the Transfiguration Courtyard, it's so beautiful. It looks so amazing. And literally, guys, in 2 weeks, we will be marching around this castle and experiencing this for ourselves. You know, I mean, when you really think about it, in some ways, I'm really, I'm sad I didn't go, but in some ways, I'm kind of happy I didn't go, because all this does is just have me hyped for when I get the chance to actually play it. But just think about everyone who's played it and now has to wait 2 more weeks before they can play again. And I'm just like, so it's like, and then on top of that, we get all this delicious content to consume and enjoy and see everyone's experiences, which are very, very different. You know, I just, oh my god, this is just so amazing. So amazing. Now let's go inside the castle. Here, like when Lynette is running around inside the castle, you see the giant tree, you see the library, and I know she couldn't go into that room, but oh my god, you see there's an icon there, you see the question mark, you see the Revelio page, I mean the field guide page. Another thing I noticed is that the what do you call it? This right here, I think that's so cute. I love this so much. There's a few things we're gonna talk about before we move on. One, the Flu Flame lady, I forget what her last name is. I think her name was Ingrid. I could be saying her name completely wrong. She actually talks to you. So when you're near her, she's like, oh, hello, my young friend. Traveling always, incites the mind. And I think it's so cool that we get that little behind the scene, like not behind the scene, but we get to communicate with her, which I think is funny, even though it's a one-sided conversation. I still like it. And I like all the little puzzles around the castle, little things you have to figure out, because this girl right here, if you go over to her, you get to talk to her about the mirror, because she's trying to figure out what's inside the mirror. And you can go around the castle and find more of those mirrors and interact with them and solve the mystery, because it kind of shows you where they want you to go. And I think that is absolutely incredible. And then there's another little thing you can do, which is right here. I like this because you have to figure out the little spell, and it turns out the spell is Incendio. So if you go around the castle, they don't tell you what these things are, but you do have to figure them out. So you have to try different spells to figure out what it is they're trying to get you to do. And I just think that is just, again, just look at this. Like, look at this. We'll be able to do this ourselves. Now, another thing I'm slightly disappointed with is that you can't interact with every student. But again, there's so much to do. I'm hoping there's so much to do. It's not really gonna matter, because some characters are just background setting. And I looked at this as like, when you play Dragon Age. In Dragon Age, you can't talk to everybody while you're walking around. Some people are just background, and you could talk to some of them, but you just can't talk to everybody. So that's what I looked at this as. But again, I really liked it because you don't have to know every student. But for me, I was just like, oh, it would have been really cool to do that. But I saw in another person's gameplay, they went inside the classroom, the herbology classroom, and you couldn't talk to the teachers like you could in Dragon Age. So you can't talk to the teachers unless it's like scripted. But then again, this is the final product of the game, and this is still a dev kit, so maybe they prevented you from seeing certain things or interacting in certain ways, because you couldn't interact with the librarian while she's walking around. So I was like, oh, those are missed opportunities. I would have loved to be able, even if there's no new content to say, but it would have been cool to talk to the teachers at any given moment in time. So it seems like this game is going to be very heavily scripted. So everything is going to be scripted, even though you're free to do whatever you want, but the game is going to be very, very, very scripted with how you interact and conversate with everybody. So again, that's a slight disappointment, but I'm not so disappointed that it kills my vibe with it. But, it is what it is. So let's move on from this. This right here, okay, swimming. Swimming is confirmed in the game. Hell to the yeah, because join me in the song, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited that we can swim. The only bad part is we can't dive. They showed Lynette that the water is deep enough for her to dive, but diving is not a thing, so it's just surface swimming. Happy that we can swim, slightly disappointed we can't dive, so that means no bubblehead charm, no gillyweed magic, but again, just look at this area, it's so beautiful, and see me, I'm an herbalist, I love herbs, I love plants, I love gardening, and to see the herbology, this is like, if this place was real and I was a student, this is where I would be like every day. I would always be in the greenhouse because it's so beautiful. And then look at this, even though she got scared by the trunk jumping, but just look at that. Look at this level of detail. You can see a reflection in the water. You see how big the tree is, how deep it goes down. So yeah, so I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to explore the castle myself and learn all of the castle secrets and interact with all the students. And now another thing I'm kind of disappointed with the students is that, let's go back to where she was outside. Right about here where she's done playing the game, you see this boy right here in her way, and she throws a spell on, but he doesn't even react. So it's like, oh my God, we can't they don't react to you doing magic, even though they'll do it while you're in combat, but like while you're at the school, you can't do, as I was hoping, doing a schoolyard fight where you can just fight random students. I know they have the Cross Wands Dueling Club for that, and of course they have the arenas for that, and I get it, but I would have loved to have done a random magic battle at the school. And a great way to have been able to counteract this is have, you know, a professor come in, it could be any professor, you know, fly down and say, hey, let's break it up, you two, and have a cut to black, and it re-emerges where either you're in the same area where you were, or maybe you're in the detention hall and it says on screen you got 2 hours of detention, or you have detention, and it could be like, you know, points docked from your house. Like, that would have been really cool to have seen something like that, but the kids don't react to you throwing spells at them. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, temper your expectations. The game cannot do everything. But the fact that you could still go around Hogwarts, I'm just too through. I'm too through. This game looks so freaking gorgeous. Now, let's move on from this. Okay, now this section of the game where I believe Lynette is able to open the book and use like a thing to kind of like a marker to say, hey, follow this trail. I think that's really cool. So it makes it very user friendly, and I think that's so beautiful that you can just follow the golden trail to lead you to your next quest marker, and the music in that hallway is so good. And I'm sorry that I turned everything off. I'll play some background music, you know, copyrights. And I noticed this here, that the loading on the door. Now, for me, that's not a bad thing, because sometimes that happens. You know, this is still a dev kit, and it still has to preset the inside and outside. So loading is something that still may happen from time to time. So to me, that wasn't a bad thing. It's just, it's a game and it's technology, and sometimes technology still needs to load, you know? So I thought that was really, really cool. And just look at this, oh, look at that, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. And you see the griffins right there, and just look at this is like all the same area that when they were doing the showcase. Like, look at that, oh, like so beautiful, like, oh my God. And the day and night cycle just rotates. So again, there's a constant day and night cycle without you having to worry about, oh, I'm gonna play the game until then. And look at that stained glass window. If that's not Merlin, then I don't know who that is. But just look at this castle. Look at this castle, so good. And then also, Lynette, thank you so much, my girl, for coming to this window. Let me tell you, I have a whole freaking conspiracy theory on this window. I had a whole video dedicated to it about how Merlin and Morgana could have created a lunar eclipse. And even though you can't really see this that well, but it looks like this might be the ancient magic flame right here, or some kind of like symbol. Again, I have shitty eyesight, and then the way the light's coming through, so it's hard to really see. But I think, I could be so wrong, it's ridiculous, that this is saying that Merlin and Morgana were able to do an eclipse for something, but what that is, I just don't know. It could be that Merlin's wand was hidden, and they used a lunar eclipse to, or a solar eclipse to hide it magically, or it could just be, you know, they're just doing some really cool magic. And again, the sun representing the masculine male, the moon representing the more gentle, mysterious female. So I get like what those things kind of mean, like magic wise, but not magic wise, or like a symbolism kind of thing. But seeing this just had me really excited. So again, Lynette, thank you for walking over there and exploring so much. And there's so many little Easter eggs in here, you know, in the castle. Like, there's so many, I can't even like point them all out. And of course, you know, that's the Dada classroom down there. And then, you know, she makes her way across the bridge. And then again, you see this right here. You get to see the Merlin statue. One of the things that I think is so cool, you see the Black Lake. Like, there's so much. And then right here with Peeves, when she runs into Peeves right here, and the student, again, this is a disappointing thing because now you can't help your fellow student while Peeves is torturing him. You know, it would have been nice to disrupt this scene right here. You know, she threw a magic spell and nothing happened, but it would have been cool to see the boy say, oh, thank you for helping me. And, you know, and it doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to be anything like that, but you can interrupt it anyway, and Peeves gets mad at you, and maybe Peeves kind of chases you around a little bit. Like, that would have been fun. It would have been annoying as heck after a while, but it would have been fun to see it regardless. And then the Alohomora unlocking spell, I saw it in the Poppy Sweeting campaign quest, but I mean, it is what it is, and they say it's a little tricky, but after a while, you'll just get used to it. I'm pretty sure the first time I encounter it, I will be annoyed by it, but I think it's just more like people just didn't know how to, you know, people are just unfamiliar with doing stuff like that. But I'm excited nonetheless. And again, I just, so good, so good. Let's move on from this. And as you can see here, this is more of the day and night cycle. Like, look at that. This is nighttime now. Look how beautiful everything is. Everything is so pretty. Like, you got to see what it looked like during the day, and now you get to see what it looks like during the night. Again, I'm just in awe of everything, you know? And you get to see the hut over there. Like, so cute, so good. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And it doesn't seem like you can also fly that high as well. It seems like there's a glass ceiling of how high you can actually go. And again, it makes sense because, you know, even though you can go to everything, but again, the game has to have some type of limits. Again, another really cool puzzle to unlock. So I thought that was really cool. And then right here where Lynette was in the Crosswands Dueling Club. Now, when it comes to combat, what I learned is that you can throw those objects with the R1 button at any given time. And if you're not throwing them at someone, you're just throwing them, but you're throwing away a valuable item to help you win in a fight. So we're gonna go to this here. Now, this is something I wanted to touch on as well with the combat system, is that I like how everyone says the combat system is a challenge. And I think once you get the hang of it, it'll become a little easier because remember, you have to, while you're playing, you have to be pressing R1 and then hold it so you can mash the face button so you can do your spells. And then of course, when you're not mashing it, you could just press O and, you know, X so you can roll and dodge and move around. And then the light lock-on system where if you move the R2, the analog stick to kind of R3 to kind of move things around so you could do some light lock-on, which I think is really cool. And then of course, understanding the different face buttons so you know what shields to break, you know, purple for, you know, Leviosa and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to get in there and learn the combat system because everyone said it's a challenge. And not for me, because that is a big thing for me because I love games with combat. This is something that I think is extremely important, that the combat system is challenging. And I like seeing like Lynette make the mistakes because it goes to show if you don't mash the right button, you can get stuck. And again, I love Lynette's let's play. I mean, not let's play, but gameplay, especially when you see her Poppy Sweeting and she jumps off the cliff and it says your mission comes in, but it shows you can save yourself from falling. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm really excited about that. Again, the combat I'm really excited about because I love that you can be super stealthy or you can go in wands a-blazing. And I think for my first playthrough, I'm definitely gonna play on normal. And if normal feels like it's a little light for me, then I'll switch it up. But again, everyone's saying it's a challenge, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy to know that the combat system is not as easy as we were all kind of thinking it was, because again, Andrew is just the boss at the game. It makes sense. He's been playing it for 5 years, so he knows his stuff. But yeah, I am just overjoyed seeing all of this, and you know, and I'm just really happy that we got this opportunity to see all of this here. And this is just more of Lynette practicing with the training dummy. So again, while you're in combat, because you're going to be panicking and frantic, You know, oh, another thing I want to point out, in my last video when I did talk about the combat system, I had said, oh, this is how you do a potion. You press R1 and circle and you can drink a potion. That is not it. You press down on the D-pad, you press down, and that allows him to quickly swig a potion while in combat. And again, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to play this and create my own spells, like use my own spells to use, and just have fun with this because it's just, I'm speechless at how amazing this all is. But what I want to know is, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited to play Hogwarts Legacy? Have you seen everyone's experience playing and exploring the castle and Poppy's mission? You know, what are your thoughts and opinions? I want to know. Please tell me in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. You already know what to do with that bell. And I look forward to joining in the next video. Stay tuned because I do have more Hogwarts Legacy goodness coming. I'm going to be doing a day in the life of the student, and I'm working on the ASMR, winter ASMR right now, and another video with my special guests who will be playing Hogwarts Legacy with me, and I cannot wait to share all of that with you. But until then, live, think, and dream big, choose love over fear, and you know how I do, because my mischief has been managed. Bye!